Hello guys, welcome to PHP Basics. Today I'll show you how to create loops in section 1.9. So we have four type of loops. We have the for loop, for each loop, while loop, and the while loop. So let's start with the for loop. For parentheses, you declare your variable, so I is equal to 0, and here is the condition. So I want I is less than 10, and I want it to be incremented in the option right here. So I want it to go 1, 2, 3, 4 positively. So 1, 2, not minus. Here it goes minus. So I want it to be incremented. So what I want to do, I want to echo this is, forget this, and I, which is the number, and I want a break line. So if you refresh, so we have this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9. So we start at 0 and we go up to 9. Why is that? Because it's not less or equal, so it will stop at 9, not 10. Because 10 is not, you're saying less than 10. So less than 10 is 9. So basically here, if you put less or equal, you will get up to 10. So there's so many things you can do with the for loop. Length of a word, of a string, or anything, it will echo. There's so many things you can do with it, but now the basic is this. All right, so now let's go ahead and start for each loop. Before that, let's create an array, and this array will have Lucy and she's a programmer. Then we have Brandon, he's a cook, and we have John, unemployed. Sorry about that, John. So here, let's create a for each loop. So for each loop, you will use it a lot for database. But now I'll show you, and arrays. So I'll show you how it works. So the variable will be cars, and because we have a key in our array, and we need the key and the value of the key, so cars as key, and we want the value of the key. So here I want to echo the key of each one of the array, and Lucy, for example, is and here we want the value, and what you can do here, you see first, so it'll bring you the first letter upper because this is a proper name. So if you go back to your browser, refresh, we forgot the break line, and here you have a break line. So Lucy is a programmer, Brandon is a cook, and John is unemployed. So what happened in the for each loop, it will go through all your array and will display it. So it will stop when the array is finished. If you have 100 key in your array, so it will go through the 100th key of your array and will stop when it's finished. You can do so many things when you have a for each. Let's say you have like 3000 in the database, 3000 name in the database. You can do a condition here, let's say for if case. You can do the length is less than, and you can do also with the query of the database, you can limit the number of output for the loop. So now there's another way to do it. If you don't want the key, you just need the value. You just have to put as key as value, and you can do this way too. So it's pretty much the same thing. So programmer, cook, unemployed. If you have a category in your array, and you just need what are the categories in your array, this is the best way to do it, or one way to do it. So now let's start with the while loop. So a while loop, this is a while loop. I'm gonna create a number, num is equal to 10, no, not 10 actually, it's equal to 2, and here you put the condition. So you're saying that while this is true, or while this number is less than 10, please continue executing the code that we'll put right here. But the problem with that, it's now 2 will always be less than 10. So this is an infinite loop. So what you need to do, there's so many ways to do it. So now we can echo the number is, and here we can put num. So now if I execute this code, this will go forever because we have 2 less than 10, so it will always go on because it's always less than 10. But what you need to do is you need to increment this number like I showed you in the for loop. If you remember, here we had the condition right here, and here we have increment. So if you don't have that, so this number will always stay the same. So you need to increment the number until it gets to 10. So num plus plus, and if you refresh, let's put a break line. So here we have 2, 3, 4 up to 9. Alright. Right here. So now to do a do while loop, it's different. A do while loop, so you're saying to PHP, do this code first, okay, while this is less or equal to 10. You can have any other condition. You can have while this is true, not even a number, it could be a variable. If you have, let's say, Tony right here, let's call it name. If you have name, if it's equal to Tony, do this until it's equal. Do this code. Let's see, let's do it together. So let's see what will happen here. So this is infinite. Why? Because you're saying do this while this is true. So if it's not equal to Tony, what will happen? Let's refresh. It will do it one time, because you're saying to PHP, do this while the name is not equal to Tony. So if it's not equal to Tony, it will do it once. But if it's equal to Tony, while this is true, I want it to do it infinitely. So I want it to loop all the time. But do while loop, you don't use it a lot in PHP. There's so many ways to do things with the do while loop, but it's more complex, and there's so much things involved in this loop. So the most you're gonna use in PHP, you will use the for loop, and you will use a lot. I use a lot for each loop, and I love it because I use a lot of database, and this is one of the loops that I use the most. So you have this one and you have this one. I want to show you an example of a for loop that you can do. Let's say it's less or equal to 1. You can do echo. When you put a script and your echo, that means you're playing with JavaScript. So here I'm gonna echo uh, this is the only number. Okay, so script, and if you refresh, you will have a pop-up of JavaScript pop-up, and this is the only number. This is like something extra that I want to show you. Forget the for loop or anything, but when you put in your like a string a script and you close it by a script, like you can use HTML, and you put an alert, that means you're telling PHP please execute a JavaScript command. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any comments for this video, or you have hard time understanding the loops, or you need more advanced on loop, please don't forget to comment in the video below. Thank you very much for watching.